Hi guys, this is Ms. Hennebree and welcome to our next video on order of operations. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before, right? And you've probably known it as PEMDAS. So in your notes, we want to go ahead and record what each one of these letters means. So P stands for parentheses, right? Or any kind of grouping symbols. Okay, the E is going to stand for exponents, which would be like 2 squared. This is the exponent right here. And the third one is M and D. So the M stands for multiplication and the D stands for division. Okay, so you're going to do multiplication or division. Okay, remember the order doesn't matter. You do the one that comes first. So it's not always going to be multiplication before division. And we'll talk more about that. And then the A and the S is adding and subtracting. So it's adding or subtracting. Okay, so as long as you know what each one of these letters stands for and what order you go in, then this is going to be a snack for you guys. All right, so let's do our first example. Okay, so we have 5 plus the quantity 7 minus 2. So if you remember from PEMDAS, the first thing you're going to do is look, do I have any parentheses or grouping symbols? Here are my parentheses, so that means I need to do this part first. So it's going to be 5 plus, and then 7 minus 2 is 5. Then 5 plus 5 is 10. It's very important that you do each step one at a time and don't try to go fast and in your head, because when we get to longer ones, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Okay? So example 2, this one's a little bit longer. So first thing you want to do is always look at it and see if you have any parentheses. And here, we have a parentheses right here. So what you want to do is rewrite everything that doesn't change. Okay, and then 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, now I know these are parentheses right here, but since there's only one digit inside, this actually means multiplication. So now you're going to go from left to right, and you're going to do any multiplication or division when it shows up. So if you start here, the first thing you see is 54 divided by 9, which is 6. Then you have your plus here. You're not going to do that yet. Then you have 3 times 8, which is 24. And you add 6 plus 24, and you should get 30. Okay, the most common mistake is going to be trying to add the 6 plus 3. You don't want to do that yet. You do all division and multiplication first. Okay? So now we're going to go on to example 3. Right, this one's a little tougher because it has exponents. So you're going to look first and see, I see no parentheses here, so you know that's done. Then you're going to look and see if there are any exponents. So we've got an exponent here and an exponent here. So we're going to carry down our 3. And remember, 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay? So now you're going to go through, I have no more exponents, so now I'm going to look and see if I have any multiplication or division. So 3 times 8 is 24, and 2 times 9 is 18. So now your last step, 24 plus 18 would be 40, I'm going to do it here, 42. Now there's no way to check your work unless you go back and rework your steps and make sure that you did it correctly, okay? All right, here's a tough one, example 4. So first thing, parentheses. Inside our parentheses is going to be this section right here. Okay. Then once you get inside the parentheses, you're going to follow PEMDAS again. So we're going to put our 3 down here. Then we've got 2 cubed. Remember from here, 2 cubed was equal to 8 plus 2 times 3 squared is 9. right? So you have 3 times 8 plus 2 is 10, and then you're going to multiply that by 9. So now we have 3 times 10, which is 30. 30 times 9 is 270. Okay, if you look at these two problems, they're exactly the same, but the only difference is the parentheses, right? It's 3 times 2 cubed plus 2 times 3 squared. Exact same problem. The only difference was these parentheses. So look how big of a difference you have from 42 to 270. Okay, so it's very, very important that you follow the order of operations. All right, 2 more examples. So here's example 5. All right, so we have 12 squared divided by the quantity 4 plus 2 squared plus 100. So this has got a lot of stuff in it. So first thing you want to do is always look for parentheses or grouping symbols. So that's going to be right here. So we've got 12 squared divided by 4 plus 2, which is 6, and that quantity is going to be squared, plus 100. Okay, so you see my step here, all I did was I added 4 plus 2 and carried it down. So 12 squared, our exponents are next, is 144, and 6 squared is 36, plus 100. Okay, now we look for multiplication or division, and we have a division problem here. So 144 divided by 36 is 4, plus 100, and then our final answer is 104. And if you guys notice, I know you guys like to show your work, but when we're doing order of operations, especially on problems like this, and especially if it's not a multiple choice question, you see how it kind of funnels down? Okay, this is how you need to show your steps, because if you mess up, there's no way for us to know where you made your mistake. So we're going to practice doing it in this funnel method. Okay? All right. Example number 6. All right, this one's a toughie. First thing, you look for parentheses. Remember I said you also looked for grouping symbols. There's 2 types of grouping symbols we're going to use. These are parentheses, and these are brackets. So it's kind of like having a double parentheses, but that way you can tell the difference. So the way that you do these is you look for the brackets first. So you're going to do everything inside the brackets first. So we know we're going to leave the 2 the way it is. Okay, so now we're going to look inside the brackets here.
What? Cut.
Okay, so now you've put your 2 outside, and you're just going to concentrate inside the brackets. Now inside the bracket, you have a parentheses. So now you're going to do this part first. So you rewrite it, 4 squared minus 6 plus 3 is 9, and you carry down your divided by 3. Okay, so I could actually move it like that. Okay, so we're still not doing anything with this 2, and we're going to do inside the brackets. So 4 squared would be 16 minus 9 divided by 3. Okay, so we're still looking inside the brackets here. So we've got 16 minus 9. Remember, we're not going to do that first. We're going to do our division first. So we end up with 2 times 16. 9 divided by 3 is 3, so minus 3. Right? So now we're just going to do 16 minus 3, which is 13. And we're going to multiply that by 2. And 2 times 13 is equal to 26. Okay? This one's a little bit complicated, but it's just really a matter of looking inside this as a regular problem and then multiplying your result by 2. Okay? So here are 2 practice problems. So what I want you to do is copy them down and then try them by yourself. Pause the video and then work these problems out and then unpause it, and we'll give you the solution so you can check to see how you did. So go ahead, pause the video. Good. Okay guys, so here's the answer to the practice problems. It shows you step by step. If you do not have these as your final answers, then go back and see what you did wrong. So remember, at the bottom of your Cornell notes, there's a summary question. Make sure you answer it in complete sentences. And if you have any questions or something you don't understand, make sure that you have all the notes taken and you have questions, specific questions if you need help with something. Do not come into class tomorrow just saying, I don't get it. You have to have a specific question.